Howdy, everyone. Well, I'm continuing to knock out the little bits and pieces for this canopy frame, and as per the last video, I believe I started on these side skin pieces. So I believe I talked about this in the previous video. If not, I'll go over it real quick because I don't remember. It's been a while since I've worked out here, and it's been a while since I've actually recorded any videos, so I'm not sure where I had left off. But working on the trim pieces, that the skin trim that goes along the side rails of the canopy frame. And what I had decided to do, like I had talked about before, I'm making mine completely on my own. This has absolutely nothing to do with the written plans. So I'm going to make my skins go from the very front of the canopy all the way to the very back. And the reason I'm doing that is I want the skin to overlap the fuselage a little bit. And I also want to have a straight line from this skin here all the way across to this skin here. You could see where I've drawn a black line representing where my skin is going to rest. So I've got like a 3/4 of an inch overhang on the fuselage rather than having the skin the way it's supposed to be. I'm not a fan of that. It's just personal preference. I don't like having a step here, and I don't like having a step here, so I'm going to run my skin right across the bottom. So the first thing I had done was made a template, which you see here, the white poster board template. Got that all ready to roll and fitted the way that I want it. Then I transferred that onto a sheet of aluminum, and I've got the one side already cut out, which you see right here, and I've already got it mostly drilled. Now I say mostly because I'm picking up these existing holes here from the canopy frame up here. These holes that are already in existence, I picked those up, and then I just measured and drilled these other ones and dimpled them. These three here are for the handle, which will go like that. And that's as far as I've gone. I don't know if I'm going to add more rivet holes in here. When you look at the frame itself, there's a heavy aluminum bracket that's behind here, and that's got welds on it, and it sits up kind of high. So to add more rivets in this area is going to be a little difficult because they have to be higher than these, higher up and over. And then you start interfering with these holes and you start interfering with the welds that's on that aluminum angle. So I don't know if I'll add any more to this. You'll see a big blank area here with no holes. I'm not going to do anything with that quite yet because that ends up being this area right here. And you've already got rivets in this area holding the frame together. Now, in theory, I could possibly drill a couple of these out, transfer those holes onto the skin, and then re-rivet it. But I don't know that I want to do that. I don't know that I want to drill these out just to do that. It would be difficult to try to fit rivets in amongst these because the spacing is so tight. I don't know that I want to do that. And I don't want to put anything on here at the moment because the plastic canopy is going to fit down in here. It's going to fit in here, and then as it comes across, it's got to go over top of this skin through here. I don't know what that transition is going to be like until I actually start fitting the canopy. So I don't want to put holes in here and start riveting things in here and potentially close this off and then have to cut it or do something weird with it to get the frame to transition. So the piece that I just made fits roughly along this black line here, and then it comes up just a little bit and then comes across, and this area in here is kind of left open so that the canopy can come through here. Once I get that all figured out, when I do the final fairing with the canopy, I'll bring that across here and cover this up. That will make more sense when I actually have the skin on here. When I have the skin clecoed in place, you can see what I'm talking about in this area. But I'm not going to do anything with that until after I got the plastic canopy actually fitted. And then I'll figure out how to, if I can, where to put rivets in this area and how to make it look decent. So with that said, I'm moving on to making the skin piece for the other side of the canopy. This is the left side. This is as far as I'm going to go with this piece for now. So now I'm going to make the right hand skin and start fitting it and getting it drilled. Again, completely off the plans. I know there are a lot of steadfast people that build to plans, build to the plans, build to the plans. That's absolutely fine. This is not for you. This is 100% off the wall modification. So take it for what it's worth, which is basically nothing, and I will talk to you guys later. Howdy everyone. You can see I've got the side skins now in place. Obviously they're just clecoed. These are not going to get riveted until after I have the actual plexiglass canopy fitted. This is as far as I'm going to take these. They still have some tweaking. They don't fit. They overlap the fuselage like I've said before. And there are a few places along the way that it doesn't fit nice with the fuselage. I can get, well, actually they fit pretty darn good. Like right here, there's a little bit of a gap. I'm not worried about any of those little details because as I fit the canopy, I would imagine these are probably going to move a little bit. So I'm not going to do anything else with them. Of course, I've got this exposed corner here. Like I said, the canopy is going to come through here and then it's going to transition up and onto this skin. I don't know where that takes place in here or how that's going to look, so I'm going to leave this just like it is. After the canopy is fitted, then I could use my, I can make a fairing of some sort to come down here and take care of this. So not concerned about any of that. Both of these side skins are on. This is ready to go. What else? I've got everything clamped. You can see I've got it clamped here on both sides. I got another clamp there. That's to hold this frame and this back corner of the canopy down onto that 1/8 inch spacer. Here's my spacer under the canopy, and I've got one up front as well. Those are the 1/8 inch spacers. So this is down all the way on the spacers. This is just making sure that it's held down on the spacers. And then I've got this forward frame that's part of the canopy lined up with this back frame, which is the roll bar. This is attached to the fuselage. I've got these lined up as per the instructions, and then I've got them clamped to hold them in place. And of course, this side here, this frame here is not attached to this frame. So there's a lot of flop and a lot of adjustment in here. So those are clamped for now in line with the roll bar. The canopy itself is clamped in on top of those 1/8 inch spacers. Now, another deviation from the plans, the side skins usually get fitted after the canopy is put in place, but obviously I am not doing that. I wanted to fit the skins because these are custom made skins. They have nothing to do with the plans. I made these myself and I wanted to make sure that I could get them to fit correctly. And I also figured rather than trying to fit the canopy without these in place, trying to fit the canopy and making something to hold the canopy in place, why not just use these? So this is, again, like I prefer to work. I prefer to work more real world, real time. This is exactly how it's going to be. So rather than make a fixture to hold the canopy in place and then take that fixture off and try to fit the skins, why not just use the actual skins? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to fit the canopy real time using the actual side skins in place. See if that works. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I'm not there yet. The other thing that you'll notice is that the fuselage itself, well, maybe you can't tell in a video, but it's now a lot lower to the floor. I've gotten rid of my plastic crates and supports, and I made one big box. So this is a single wood box that goes all the way across. You might remember in the past, I had the two crates. I had a crate on this side and a crate on the other side with some other things stacked up, so there were two individual pillars holding the frame. This is just a single box. It's roughly 12 inches tall, and I've lowered the fuselage quite a bit, and it just makes getting to all of this framework and the canopy stuff, I can reach all of this now a lot easier. So, and the big thing is now I am moving on to the actual canopy itself, which I've already started on, and it is here. Just a simple frame, a simple wood frame, to basically have something to put the canopy on, and then the blocks here help hold its shape and prevent it from moving around. I will probably, I haven't decided. I may screw these blocks to the wood with just a single screw so that they'll pivot. I may just stick with the clamps because they obviously have a lot more adjustment if they're not permanently attached, but I don't know. For now I'm going to stick with clamps, but I may end up screwing these blocks to the wood just with a single screw, like I said. So I just brought this up from the basement. I haven't done anything to it. I just want to make sure that it fit on the frame. I'm more than likely going to take everything here outside onto the patio. It's a little windy. I'm a little concerned. I obviously don't want this thing to take flight before it's attached to the airplane. So I'm mildly concerned about the weather. But it is nice and warm outside, and it's a nice day. There's not any rain in the forecast. So of course I got to read through the instructions and get my head around what to do first. I know I've got to cut all of this flange clamping surface crapola off. That's what you start with, but I got to cut back some of the plastic to get it out of the protective plastic. I got to cut that back to get it out of the way. Tape some stuff, draw some reference lines. I got to figure out what I'm going to use to cut it with. I have a Dremel with a 90-degree attachment. I may try that. I don't have anything to run the cutoff wheel that Van supplies. I know people have used all kinds of other things in the past. I don't have anything to drive that. I don't have an arbor to fit it on. I don't have an air drill. If I had an arbor, I could use my 90-degree cordless drill, but like I said, I don't have an arbor for that. But I do have some cutoff wheels and a Dremel, which I'm going to start with. But like I said, I'm just not there yet. I'm just getting started. This is all new to me. This is brand new territory. So I'm going to dive in and see what gives. All right. Thanks for stopping in, guys. And thanks for hanging in there with me through all this canopy framework stuff. We're now moving out of that a little bit onto the plastic canopy itself. And fingers crossed. All right. Talk to you later.